All right, good Wednesday morning, everyone. Forecaster Josiah Acheampong here. Thank you for joining for your online forecast. We're beginning with this beautiful sunrise here in Dimmitt. You can see the little car right there making its way through the area. But the main feature is that beautiful sunrise, but it is being blanketed a little bit by some cloud cover. And that's kind of what will continue to be the name of the game as we roll throughout the rest of today, the clouds beginning to roll in throughout the day. Taking a look at our current conditions right now here in Amarillo, we're at 32 degrees. Our winds are shifting, coming in from the north-northwest about 11 miles an hour, and our dew point is at 20 right now. Taking a look at our temperatures across the remaining portions of the area, 35 in both Clovis and Tucumcari, 33 in Guyman, 29 in Shamrock, and 39 in Paducah at this hour. Winds, again, coming in from the north-northwest or about northerly, depending on where you are, coming in about 5 to about 22 miles an hour. Clarendon has had some of the breezier conditions so far this morning, and that'll continue throughout today as additional cooler air funnels in thanks to a cold front that has pushed through. In fact, what we will do, what we will do is show this. Here we go. There we go. All right, now we're taking a look at our radar and water vapor imagery. Those clouds beginning to funnel in, all of part of our snow system that continues to build over portions of the Rockies and is making its way to the south-southeast. But it's not looking too impressive overall. So not much to worry about in terms of accumulation, but that is the main feature we'll be watching in our next storm system pushing down to the south and east today. This morning, as you head to the bus stop, it'll be a cool start. Temperatures in the 30s will warm up into the 40s and maybe even 50s for some of our southern counties later this afternoon as clouds continue to filter in. But let's time all this out. This is about 3 o'clock or so. You see temperatures are hovering above freezing, just around 36 degrees for both Clayton and Boise City. So as that moisture begins to funnel in, it may come in the form of rain to begin, but um, as as the hours continue, it'll quickly transition over to an all snow issue. Looking around midnight or so, 10 to about midnight, 10 p.m. tonight to midnight, that's where we can see some snow work its way into the I-40 area, stretching from Tucumcari, Amarillo. I know the eastern extent pushes it all the way into Wheeler County. I'm not too convinced that the moisture will be able to reach that far, but we definitely could see some moisture work its way into places like Clarendon, Pampa, Borger. Um, and also, it may not be too impressive in terms of intensity. I mean, the overall situation with the system and why there's still a lot of variables is in regards to the overall orientation of it. We talked about it being a positively tilted open wave that we're dealing with. So with that, they don't tend to come with a lot of moisture. Corbin has talked about it quite a lot about just the amount of available moisture accessible to the system. There's not much. So while the model here is printing out some impressive bands of snow in certain instances, which can be true, I don't think it'll be such a widespread issue, but something to look out for, especially for tomorrow's morning commute. Heading into around 8 o'clock, we still could be monitoring lingering showers working its way through the area as we wake up with temperatures in the 20s. Rolling through Thursday, temperatures struggling to reach the 40-degree mark, but we will have winds shifting from the south and southwest. Heading into Friday morning, temperatures cooler in the teens and 20s, so another cool start. Here's a closer look at the timing for some of the snow that we can expect. We are expecting around 3 o'clock or so for some of that wintry precip to work its way into of Union County, as well as the Oklahoma Panhandle, maybe some of the northern tier of the Texas Panhandle. Oh, that was my bag. For Dalhart, Dumas, and Borger, that's going to be around 10 o'clock. That's when you can notice some snow beginning to push into your area. Amarillo, I have you in that 2 o'clock frame. Uh, I'm willing to push it up to about midnight. I wouldn't marry yourselves into that 2 o'clock time frame, especially if you're along I-40. That snow can sneak in. I mean, you looked at our model, having it come in around between 10 and 2 a.m. So that's about the time frame there. And then areas south of I-40, that's really where you'll have to wait until about just after midnight, around that 1, 2 o'clock time frame, for you guys to tap into some additional snow moisture. Now, when it's all said and done, how much snow will we actually be talking about? So this is our in-house model right now, having it showing a lot of 2-inch amounts. I'm honestly not too convinced of this, but what I will say it's doing a great job at is hinting at the fact that areas west of 2287 are probably at the highest bet of seeing close to an inch, maybe even more so, depending on just how much moisture is available and where those heavier bands do set up. We could be dealing with something called mesoscale banding, and with that, we'll have an intensity hike in some of those snow bands that do develop. And if that's the case, that could trigger some heavier snow rates, and that's when snow can pile up. But in terms of snow totals, don't think that all this snow will stick as soon as it melts, especially considering we've had several days with temperatures above freezing. So on initial contact, that snow will likely melt on pavement, paved roads, sidewalks, things of that nature, but we could be dealing with it accumulating on grassy and colder surfaces. So your car, for example, tomorrow morning, you may have to dust it off. You may have to clear it in the morning. Give yourself a little extra time for that. But that does not rule out also icy spots on roadways, especially if temperatures are below freezing, but the roads may not be exactly at freezing themselves. It could create slick spots as well. So give yourself a little extra time for tomorrow morning's commute. And again, with the snow totals, I think at best we're looking at a trace to about an inch. I do think this is really overperforming. I think the highest amounts, yes, Union County, Clayton areas west, especially in the Santa Crista Mountains, where we do have a winter storm warning that will go into effect starting at noon today and will last until 5 a.m. on Thursday, Mountain Time. Again, with the higher elevations out here, they can pick up amounts close to 4 inches, maybe even higher than that, especially areas west near the Raton Pass. They could pick up even more snow there. And some of the higher elevations, about 7,000 feet or so or higher, they could pick up maybe a foot. So that's not going to be an issue for us here, but definitely showing you the available moisture and where that axis of moisture will really be pivoting toward. And that's going to be for our friends in northeastern New Mexico, as well as portions of southern Colorado. Now, as we take a look at our forecast for today, we're going to be in the 40s, clouds building throughout the day. We'll have temperatures tonight dipping into the 20s as that moisture pulls itself in. And then tomorrow, we're remaining cool, temperatures struggling to leave the 30s, thanks to a cold front that I pushed through today, this morning. Taking a look at your 7-day tracker, we're poised to warm up just in time for the electric light parade for those who are going out. Their temperatures will be on the cooler side probably by the evening, so you may want the jacket, the hat, the scarf as you stand outside. But then we warm up nicely heading into early next week, although we'll have a cold front pushing through on Sunday. Could tumble our temperatures just a bit, knocking them down into the 40s. But again, the 60s are back on the horizon, above average, roughly about 8 degrees or so. So hope you all have a great rest of your day. Stay tuned for updates. Corbin and I will continue to keep you all updated with what's going on and the latest information. Be sure to follow us online. My Instagram, Twitter handles, well, X, also known as Twitter, you can find right here at Joe ACHWX. And then my Facebook, please follow me there. That's where I post a lot of the content, some of the graphics here. I post that on there as well, as we can find that. And in addition, on Instagram, you can find me. I do post information on there as well. If it's a little bit easier for you, you can find it at Josiah_WXTV. I hope that helps you all. You all have